Loud East Wrestling fans, I am longtime independent wrestling fan Robert. I have a review here of Loud East Wrestling Marked for Death, which was their uh, debut at the Mecca in Ridgefield Park, New Jersey. I was not in attendance for this one. It took place back on March 30th, 2024. This was LEW's first show in months, because their last show before this, they ran two shows in the Bronx in June and September of 2023. Not sure the reason for the hiatus, but it looks like they, based on this show that I sat through, even though I wasn't there live, looks safe to say they've bounced back and with a vengeance. Now, there was a pre-show battle royal. I don't know how many guys altogether were in the match, but it was won by the Absolute Chris Cage, where the winner would receive a Loud East Wrestling contract. Among other participants that I recognize in this match were Brandon Downey, Kamikaze, and the last man, Kamikaze, the last man eliminated by Chris Cage, and Alpha Zero was in this match. The main show begins where the ring announcer introduces Loud East Wrestling owner, founder, the Grim Reaper, and I forgot what he says to the crowd, but he had a 10-second countdown telling the crowd, well, I'm going to count down and you start getting as loud as possible to get the really crowd going. But we open up the show with a tag team action as we see First Class, Johnny Santos and Big Cuzzo, as they do battle with Mad John and Johnny Rambo, collectively known as The Wave. As First Class was coming to the ring, I believe it was Rambo who did a dive off the top rope onto both Santos and Cuzzo before they even got in the ring and before the bell even rang. They eventually get back in. Cuzzo hit a choke breaker on Rambo, and Rambo was in peril. Took a lot of punishment. Cuzzo hit a spine buster. Mad John eventually gets the hot tag. And it turns out Mad John is the son of Slugger from the LIWF Doghouse, who many early Ring of Honor fans might remember him. Slugger was the bodyguard of the Special K faction in Ring of Honor's early years. Mad John hits the ring. He does clean it out on both Cuzzo and Santos. Mad John hits the Dino Bravo move on Santos. Rambo hit a dive off of Mad John's shoulders out to the floor. Santos tried for a dive. I forgot who he was aiming for, but he ends up landing on Cuzzo. Mad John surprisingly hits a dive to the floor. Rambo hits a rolling... what the hell? I'm sorry, folks. I'm having trouble with my handwriting here. Rambo hit a rolling cutter on Santos. Cuzzo hit a move on Rambo, which the commentators refer to as the TMD. Not sure what that stands for. Mad John hits Cuzzo with the Sky High. Then he picks up Santos for the body bag, which was Slugger's move. And then Rambo hit a swanton off the top rope, pinned Santos, enabling the Wave to defeat First Class in a great tag team match to open up the show, really get the crowd going. Okay, up next was a match for the Super Independent Competitive Championship. Yeah, say that 3 times fast. My understanding, that was a championship belt that was previously seen in New Evolution Wrestling, which has since closed up. And we saw the man with that championship belt, Ghost Shadow, do battle with Black Zemus for the title. Ghost Shadow hit a Hurricane Rana early on. Zemus eventually hits a Brain Buster. Eventually, Shadow picks up the win with a somersault leg drop off the top rope, defeating Black Zemus to retain the Super Independent Competitive Championship. Again, say that 3 times fast. From there, we had ourselves some brutality as Lowlife Louis Ramos, accompanied by his son, and he took on Jay Lover. I forgot the 2 men who were accompanying him to the ring. I don't even know if they got even introduced or not. Lover and Louis brawl out on the floor. Lover placed a barbed wire crown on Louis' head, and he was hitting him with the trash can to intensify try to make the barbed wire go further into Louis' head. Louis pulls out a fork and just proceeds to fork up Lover. Louis brought a rubber dildo into play and stuffed it in the mouths of Lover and one of the guys at ringside. Lover used a metal crutch. I don't know if it really broke or not. Louis was whipped into a barbed wire board set up in the corner. Lover used a cheese grater. Choke slams Louis on a board with half cut off cans. Lover used what they said was a computer screen. I'm not sure if it was. Ew. Louis hits a leg drop. Lover kicked out. Lover hit a leg drop. Louis kicked out. Louis hits the Death Valley driver on a board set up on two chairs to pick up the victory. After the match, Louis and Lover thanked each other because they had first met each other back in 1999, which was 25 years ago. Damn it, I'm getting old. And so are they, unfortunately. No time waits for nobody. Lover, he said he got to face Homicide at the first LEW show. He got to face Louis on this event, and he's put it out there. He said he'd like to have a match with the Grim Reaper. Reaper comes out, and he says, I wasn't planning to wrestle in this company, but, you want a match with me next show? You've got it. Be careful what you wish for. And he said Lover and Louis had a great match. Up next, we see the Cambodian... What's his nickname? The Cambodian Dragon, Yo-Ya, and he did battle with Dr. Sleep, Anthony Gangone, who, unless I'm mistaken, Gangone came out to the theme of that TV show, Unsolved Mysteries, which was hosted by the late Robert Stack. Yo-Ya hits a Hurricane Rana early in the match. Gangone eventually gets the advantage. Yo-Ya hits a German suplex. Puts a crossface on Gangone. Gangone hit a German suplex. Gangone scooped up Yo-Ya for like a package pile driver, but he dropped him and caught him with like a knee to the face or the upper body. And I don't know if somebody messed up or Yo-Ya couldn't kick out. Gangone picked up the victory over Yo-Ya. And after the match, Gangone hits a move on Yo-Ya, which Raymond Sanchez, one of the commentators, called Dreams by the Waterfall. The other commentators with this one were Kevin Gill and Julius Smokes. And man, Smokes really had me laughing on his commentary with so many things he said. Up next was scheduled for a 6-man tag team match for the new Backseat Boys, JP and Tommy Grayson, and original Backseat Boy Johnny Kashmere do battle with the Uptown Boys. Jarrett Diaz and Matt Awesome join forces with the notorious 187 Homicide. Well, the Uptown Boys come to the ring first, and Jarrett Diaz has his arm in a sling, and Matt Awesome introduces their new partner, and it's Jay Lyon from the tag team main event, and then Homicide comes out. Homicide tried to go for the three Amigos, but only hit 2 suplexes on JP. Lyon had a moonsault on the floor onto, I don't know how many guys he landed on the floor. I believe it was JP or Tommy Grayson hit an ankle slam on Matt Awesome. Then they gave Awesome the T gimmick. Jarrett Diaz finally gets in the ring, but he gets hit with a Singapore cane by Tommy, I believe it was Tommy Grayson. Lyon hit a powerbomb on someone. He powerbombed Tommy Grayson. Homicide hits a ace crusher on Johnny Kashmere and pinned him, enabling Homicide, Jay Lyon, and Matt Awesome to defeat the Backseats and Kashmere. Next up was a scramble match as we saw Jay Alfredo versus Colin Parker versus Benny Candela versus Charlie Tiger versus Jimi Hendrix versus Mr. James. Early in the bout, Tiger spears Candela. James power slams Tiger. Himi hits a poison rana on Tiger. James hits a Spanish fly on Tiger. Benny Kobashi plexes James. Tiger, no pun intended, Tiger drivers Parker on the apron. Sick bump. Hendricks ended up pinning Jay Alfredo with, I believe, the infrared. It was a top rope move Amazing Red was known for to pick up the victory. Next up was a hot and heavy match which saw the Perfect Ratio, Adonis Stone, take on a different kind of boy, Jimmy Lloyd. Stone hit a Hurricane Rana early. He did a dive to the floor. Tried to go for another dive to the floor, but Lloyd caught him by hitting him in the head with a road sign. He threw Stone onto the set of chairs at the ringside right by the commentating table. Lloyd used pizza pans. Eventually, Adonis throws Lloyd onto a bunch of another set of chairs in the crowd. Stone had put a door on. Yeah, it was a door set on two chairs. He goes up onto the stage, brings a ladder into play. He climbs up the ladder, jumps off the ladder, splashes, which was set up on the stage, splashes Lloyd through the door set up on the chairs. Back in the ring, Stone hits a top rope splash. Lloyd kicks out. Then he puts Lloyd through a door on. Oh, I'm sorry, wait. He throws a chair at Lloyd. Lloyd hits a Death Valley driver on a chair. Stone hits a Samoan drop and hits a second rope moonsault, but Lloyd kicked out of that. Lloyd hits a power bomb. Uses trash can lids on Stone. Stone hits a sliced bread number 2. Lloyd hits power bombs Adonis Stone through a door set up in the corner. Then he hits an over-the-shoulder pile driver. Jimmy Lloyd defeats Adonis Stone, and after the match, they shook hands and hugged. Then it was main event time as the tracksuit terror Dominic De Niro did battle with the bad boy Joey Janela. Both men displayed great mat work at the beginning. They brawled outside the ring on the floor. They had a slugfest back in the ring. De Niro hit a powerbomb. Janela with a DDT. Janela hit a super kick. Then he gave De Niro a Death Valley driver through a door. Janela hits a Legato. De Niro powerbomb Janela through a door set up on chairs. Janela hits a... Wait. Oh, Janela hits a brain buster. No, wait, no. No, I'm sorry. Janela climbed the top rope. Janela used pieces of the broken door and hits De Niro with it, stopping him. Then Janela hits a superplex. Eventually, Janela hits a roaring elbow and a German suplex. De Niro countered with a Saito plex. Janela hits a package pile driver, followed by a top rope stomp on a broken door that on top of De Niro, and Janela pins De Niro to pick up the victory to end a great show. Janela goes over to the commentator table, saying he's the best in the world, and sounded like he was calling out Bryan Danielson. Well, that sounded like a great crowd was at this show, too. For those wondering, Loud East Wrestling returns to the Mecca in Ridgefield Park, New Jersey on Saturday, June 8th, as they present Wild East. No match has been announced just as of this recording. Hopefully I'll make that show, and probably will be another great one, considering Loud East Wrestling has only had 3 shows in their 1-year existence, and I was hoping the June show would have been the 1-year anniversary. But, hopefully things will go well for this promotion as time goes on. And, well, what else can I say? Definitely a great job, great effort by everybody on the show, and the crowd was great, even though I was not there, but I will say it. End it with loud East, loud East, loud East, loud East.